So, did you ever want to create some kind of spyglass effect in one of your Godot games? Or perhaps another blur-based screen FX to get a custom atmosphere or investigating tool? Cause this is actually really easy to do in Godot. Actually, this is something I've used in the puzzle game about ciphers I'm currently developing, Locktail. In a couple of levels, players need to decipher the little chunk of story hidden by the code, but they also have this kind of screen FX blocking their view and enhancing the meaning of the text. It can be a simple but very effective way to boost your game's ambience. Oh, and by the way, remember that if you want to help support the project by adding it to your wishlist, or you want to try out the free demo, you can have a look at the Steam page over here. Okay, so suppose that you've got a basic scene like this one. Here, because it's 3D, if I want to create a global screen effect, I first need to make sure I put a canvas layer node in my hierarchy. If you're in 2D, you don't have to worry about that. But in any case, the main thing we need for our screen effect is a basic color rect node. We'll set it to cover the entire screen, and then in its inspector, we'll give it a shader material resource. The idea will be to create a shader and use this shader in the shader material to post-process the render of the scene in some way. So this is where we can select the shader resource we want to use that will determine the effect applied on top of the rest of our visuals. For example, here I've got this spotlight shader I made before. As you can see, it has a couple of parameters, so the mouse pos vector2 value determines the center of the spotlight zone. It is normalized, meaning that it goes from 0 to 1 along the x and y axis, and it will make it easy for us to have the spotlight follow our cursor. The mouse range float determines how big the spotlight zone is. It can be very small, and then most of the screen will be hidden, or very large, in which case the effect will be barely visible. Finally, the aspect ratio property is a quick hack to make sure that our spotlight area is actually a circle. Basically, by telling our shader what the ratio of our game screen is, typically here this is the ratio for a 16:9 screen size, like 1920 by 1080 for example, then we'll be able to recompute a mask with a circular shape instead of a deformed ellipsis. And so, more precisely, in this case, the spotlight shader uses the following code. You see that first we have the options we just described, and then in the fragment function, we do a few basic things. First, we recenter our UVs, and we apply our screen ratio. Then, thanks to those new UVs, we compute our circular mask relative to our max mouse range value. I've also applied a little smooth step to make the circle less blurry and get a real zone. And finally, we can use this mask to blend between a solid black color and the original render of the scene. So this is the full, complete image rendered by our camera without any effect on top. In other words, wherever the circular mask is black, so outside of our spotlight zone, we'll get solid black pixels that effectively hide the scene, but where the mask isn't black, so inside the spotlight zone, we'll get our initial render, which gives us a result akin to a spyglass. But of course, for now, this effect is static. It doesn't move along with our mouse. So to handle this, let's select our colorX node and attach a new script to it. This script will contain just a couple lines of code. We'll start by storing the size of the screen in our ready function when the scene initializes, and then we'll use the input hook to track any mouse movement, so any user event input that is of input event mouse motion type. And in that case, we'll divide the current mouse position by the screen size to renormalize it for shader, and we'll set this new value as the mouse pos value of our shader material. And there we go! If we run this demo, you see that we get a basic but really cool masking effect that creates sort of a spyglass atmosphere simply by moving this circular mask on top of our scene's visuals. Of course, the really cool thing with this setup is that you could very easily change the effect by swapping the spotlight shader for another one. For example, here is a shader that instead of applying black outside of the mouse zone, blurs the render. So you'll have a fully focused render around your mouse and a blurred render outside of this area. The code is very similar, except that at the end, when we do our blend, we don't use solid black for our black mask zones. instead we read our render texture results with a higher LOD, as indicated by our blur parameter, which basically means that we'll get a blurred version of our scene render. And the cool thing is that you don't have to change anything in your script as long as your shader parameters are named the same. And so now you have a completely different result with more of a lens screen effects. Now, to wrap this up quickly, you could obviously also play with the mouse range option of your shaders. For example, suppose that you extend your script so that if you scroll down or up with your mouse wheel, you update the range of your effect zone. You may want to still clump it to a given range to avoid getting completely unusable values. But you see that simply by adding or subtracting a little amount from this value, and then reassigning the new result to the mouse range parameter of the ColorX shader material, you can get an even more customizable tool that lets you move your mouse around to discover new zones and scroll up or down to make the zone bigger or smaller. So there you go. You now know a very basic way of adding quick screen effects to your games to boost their atmosphere or create unique tools like a spyglass. I really hope you liked this short tutorial. Be sure to react in the comments and to subscribe to the channel to get more videos. And of course, a huge thanks to my Patreon members for the support and to you for watching. And as always, take care.